morning. I'm Leanne Peters and I want to welcome you to my video for this week. This is the weekly guidance and I'll be pulling some cards and sharing some guidance for this week ahead, starting the 23rd of June through till Sunday the 29th of June 2025. So thank you for joining me today. I trust you've been led here for a reason. I want to start by sending out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you also for your support through our gallery and art hub, Harmony on High Street in Campbelltown, Tasmania. I am coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Monday, the 23rd of June here. The time is exactly 9:48 a.m. So welcome. If you're new to watching, what I'm going to be doing is using my Oracle cards. These are cards that I illustrated and created, and I have two decks combined. We have the Speed of Light Oracle cards and the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. I made these two decks the same size so that we could play with them together. So I have the decks combined, 110 cards in my hand, and I'll be using this combined deck to find the best cards that the majority of us need for this week ahead. I'm not pulling cards for individuals. I am here to share guidance for all of those who are open to receiving. I trust that you've been led here for a reason. So I suggest you take on board what feels right and what resonates with what you've got going on in your life, and let the rest go. And let's see what happens. If this doesn't resonate with you, if this is not your sort of thing, then I trust you can just turn it off and go and do something that you enjoy. Good morning, Pamela and Eva. Welcome. So I'm looking for the best cards now that the majority of us need for this week ahead. So I'm asking the cards to show us what we need to know for the 23rd to the 29th of June 2025. And the best cards, based on the way I pick my cards, are these. I'm going to lay them face down here next to me in a rainbow shape. So we've got 6 cards for the week, and let's start. So I can't see them. We're starting Monday the 23rd of June with an Animal Kingdom Oracle card. Hi Kay, hi Mary, hi Granella, welcome. And Tanya's here too. So our card for Monday is this. It's the Shelter card. Well, this is nice. It's card 51. It's kind of a nice card, this. It makes me feel like a sense of relief, like a sense of calm in this card. It's very grounded, very home-based, and it says to seek safe shelter. So this typically talks about the home, but it doesn't always talk about the home, especially if we're in between homes or residences at the moment. We might find our kind of shelter, our home place that we feel could be in our vehicle, could be a place in nature. It could be our bedroom for now rather than our whole home or residence. So it depends where we're at. And we could even go as far as to say it could also represent the home in our heart. Home is where our heart is. Maybe our heart is where our home is. And so sometimes if we really are in between things, we don't have a residence right now, a place where we can call home, then it's sometimes a place that we need to find in our body or in our heart. I remember when I was travelling with my young family for 2 years in a caravan, and we were travelling around Australia a bit, and it felt so nice to feel that feeling that my home is right here, that this van that we're towing is my home. And it just felt so good. I felt like a turtle or a snail that can just sort of retreat back into their home. And that's what I felt like I could do with my little family. We could just park anywhere and slip back into our home. So that was where my home was for that period. So when we move positions or move places or move locations, then that feeling of home changes. So what is the importance of this for Monday? It's maybe some of us might need to be around our home or this place that feels like home at the moment, this room or this place in nature, this feeling that we might find in our body. Usually we're in the home kind of energy to rest, to recover, or to repair. Sometimes we need just to do a spring clean, but usually it's to rest, recover, or repair. Sometimes we just need some downtime, some time to ground, some time to calm, some time to support our body. So that's the energy around for Monday, is highlighted around our home or our shelter. Now we'll look at Tuesday, the 24th of June. We have Speed of Light Oracle. We have the Tree Maiden, card 42, and it says ending, surrender, growth and illumination. This is an amplifying card. So this brings extra amplification or magnification to the situations we might be dealing with. So especially on Tuesday, there might be something under the magnifying glass, which usually means that something seems bigger or louder, more complicated, more dramatic, more difficult than what it really is. Because when it's under the magnifying glass or under the spotlight, things are highlighted around it. Things seem bigger with that thing that's really under that spotlight. So often when things are under the spotlight or when are highlighted, amplified like this, something's trying to get our attention. So there might be something loud that's playing out, especially around Tuesday, that's trying to get our attention. So maybe there's something we need to change, something we need to become aware of that we may not have noticed before. So if we don't notice the whatever's getting louder in our life, if we're oblivious because we're off doing other things or we're focusing on other things and this thing's getting louder in the corner of our life and it's getting louder and louder, it will just keep getting louder until we notice it. So we might notice this on Tuesday that something's loud. Now it can hit us like a ton of bricks. If it's getting very loud, it can be like a really difficult fish slap or a truth slap that we're sort of hit with, sideswiped by, to sort of wake us up and go, oh, actually, I didn't realise that before. So something's amplified most likely on Tuesday for some of us. And sometimes, well, it's amplified to try and get our attention. Often with this card too, it talks about endings. So there might be something that needs to end, something that has perhaps expired for us in our life that is kind of waned, or the enthusiasm behind it has lessened. There might be a door that we're needing to close that is highlighted around Tuesday as well. So growth is promised from this card if we have the ability, the willingness to see what's loud and then do whatever we need to do around that to help shift that through and settle things down again. Now we're going midweek here, so Wednesday, and we're going to go Thursday at the same time, the 25th, the 26th of June. Speed of Light Oracle card. Well, this is nice. This is the Butterfly card 6, and it says hearts opening, freedom, passion, and action. So this is a freedom. This is almost the opposite of this other card that I talked about. So it makes me feel that something shifts potentially around Tuesday, maybe late in Tuesday or even early Wednesday, that shifts out of this loudness, something loud, something overwhelming perhaps, that then shifts into something light, because we pull down here into our heart. There's a dreamy energy here, so we're less weighed down and burdened by the complexities of whatever's blown out of proportion. So things feel lighter, things feel dreamy. It feels like our heart opens up like the sails on a yacht, and then we are kind of open to allowing ourselves to move with the ebb and the flow of our life a little bit better and perhaps easier than before. There's a lot of action in this card, so we might feel quite energetic or enthusiastic around Wednesday and Thursday. We might feel a bit slower moving Monday with the shelter card. We may feel a bit weighed down on Tuesday. with the Tree Maiden card, but we may feel quite active, quite dreamy, we might even be fantasizing about ideas and dreams we have, goals for our future, which is a great sign because it means that things are have shifted through, that heaviness is shifting out. So freedom is here, passion is activated, and action is likely present. So that's a really great midweek card. We've got Friday the 27th of June now, Animal Kingdom Oracle. We have the Crocodile. Card 5. Card 5 for Friday. It says stand in your survival power. So we have a heavy energy that's coming in again, that's coming in around Friday. This is likely talking about developing a thick skin, having clear boundaries. We may need to show our teeth if something or someone, if something in our life's not working or someone's not treating us how we would like to be treated, then we may need to show our teeth and not bite, not literally bite, but we may need to say no, or we may need to put our foot down and draw the line. So there's a sort of boundaries energy here. There's a protective energy. There's a thick skin. So let's also be careful we're not taking things too personally on Friday, but let things that come at us roll off our back like water off a duck's back. See if we can let it go, and if anything sticks, then we may need to look at why is it sticking? Why do we feel insecure about this? What is our fear around the situation or our limitation around this person that may need to be looked at? So we are survivors, but of course we don't want to just survive. But if we have to, it comes down to we just want to be able to survive. And if our survival needs are taken care of, then we can hopefully move towards more of a thriving. It's hard to thrive if we're struggling to survive. So sometimes we need to put the thrive kind of, I want it all or whatever. We need to put that aside sometimes, because sometimes there are more primal survival things that need our attention, like our health, our finances, the state of our living arrangement, our relationships, our work situation, things like that affect our survival. So we might need to tend to that. If we've been trying to put it aside and pretend our survival concerns don't exist, we might find a bit of an imbalance at the moment. So looking at things like our health and our finances and those things, our survival things, these may be really almost essential, especially around Friday, for us to look at and to stop ignoring. Now, Saturday, the 28th of June, another Speed of Light Oracle. We have integration. This is card 19, and it says settling, grounding, nature, and calm. So again, we've got a calming energy that's coming through. This is a period or a potential on Saturday for integration. So what does that mean? Integration to me feels like a settling or a calming of things. Things calm down, things fall into place, perhaps. Things settle. I think it's a settling. Sometimes we need to prompt this by shifting our perspective, stepping out into nature, maybe doing something different to calm ourselves down. So it is a calming, a settling energy, is a grounded energy too, present with this particular card for Saturday. And when we feel that, we tend to move more into a balanced state. So I can already see, I've got one more card to pull for Sunday, but I can already see things feel up and down. We might feel calm, then we might feel on edge. We might feel calm, we might feel on edge. There's an active and passive energy waving through this week, potentially. Okay, Sunday the 29th of June. Oh, we have a featured card. It's sensuality, and it has further instructions here which say to breathe deeply and choose a random card. So I go back to my deck. And I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going here. I've got Animal Kingdom Oracle. Oh, we've got the butterfly twice this week. Well, that's nice. So this is for Sunday. This is nice, actually. So these two cards have come up together for a reason. We're going to look at them separately first. So the sensuality card is 46. And it says love, breath, relationship, and passion. This card usually comes up when we've been feeling flat or deflated. Like if we were a balloon and all the air is sort of draining out of us. So it usually comes up when we've been feeling flat or deflated and perhaps feeling helpless. And this card is a revival of sorts because it's reminding us to breathe life back into ourselves again. So if we were a deflating balloon, let's work with our breath to breathe life force, breathe air, breathe oxygen, breathe love back into our body again. So there's a revival feeling here, an uplifting feeling. This is a great time, especially on Sunday or around the weekend, to revive our relationships that have been a bit slow, we could say, or that connections haven't been quite right. This could be a great time to breathe life back into our relationships, our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with others, and our relationship with life. How can we revive ourselves? It's going to be up to us, and we can work with our breathing to help us do that. So really deep breaths. We don't even need to wait till Sunday. We can start anytime to work with our breathing and work on how we can uplift and revive ourselves again, to bring love back in. Again, we've got that word passion that's come up again as well. So what are your passions? What are you passionate about? And then we've got card 2 that comes with that, and that's the butterfly, and it simply says joy. So the butterfly, this is a simplistic card. It's getting back to basics. It's no complications here. There's a clarity also in this card. It also brings transformation. So our ability to change, our ability to improve ourselves, our relationships, our life, which works in beautifully with the relationship with the sensuality card. So Sunday, potentially a great day for upliftment, for clearing the clouds or the fog that may have been hovering around us, to revive ourselves again in relationships, revive ourselves in life, and to allow change and transformation and improvement into our life, into our being, into our relationships. So it feels perhaps, a midweek, so Wednesday, Thursday, and then linking up to Sunday are quite potentially uplifting. We have the butterfly card twice this week, which shows a transformative energy. So things might be changing. Now, the butterfly, typically when it comes up, when I've noticed it, it tends to be about personal transformation. So change, improvement for us personally. Where are we changing? Where are we improving? Where or how are we transforming ourselves into hopefully something better than before? And not better in relation to other people, but better in relation to who we used to be. So who we used to be yesterday. I'm always hoping that I can, and trying my best to be a better version of myself today than I was yesterday. And to keep improving myself based on who I was or who I am. Not compared to other people, because the other people is other people's business. But for myself and in alignment with my values and truths as well, and ethics. So I'm going to stick with that feeling that it could be an up and down week this week. There might be things intensely coming up that are quite dramatic and complicated and perhaps overwhelming. And then there's probably the next day or later that day, we might feel quite revived and uplifted. So it's probably going to be up and down this week. So let's see how we go. I'm going to pull a theme card in just a minute. But before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. If you'd like to learn more about my cards I've used today, the Speed of Light, the Animal Kingdom Oracle, you can work with them separately or you can combine them together if you wish. You can learn more about them on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. You can learn more about the work that I do there. You can look at becoming a member or joining me on Patreon for some resources that you won't find on my website. You can also visit my ceramics website, which is leannepeters.com, and there you'll find activities and things that I'm often regularly doing in Tasmania at our new gallery and art hub. And things that we've got going on. So check out my websites if you're interested in supporting my work, or if you'd like to find out more about what I do. So the best card for the theme, which the theme card will help bring this whole week together and help us see the bigger picture for this week, the 23rd till the 29th of June. And the best card for our theme, I trust, is this. It's from the Speed of Light Oracle cards. Oh, this is nice. It's the Lotus Heart. So again, I mean, we've got Butterfly coming in strong. We've got Heart coming up a couple of times. Heart, action, passion, Butterfly coming up several times this week. So we've got Lotus Heart, card 22. It says the Om mantra. Meditate, reconnect, and peace. So this is nice because as our theme, and looking at the cards on their own without the theme, it feels quite up and down. But potentially now with our theme card being quite peaceful, quite heart energy, quite reconnective, it kind of takes that wobble potentially out of this week. So instead of feeling up and down, we might find hopefully that it's a little bit more stable this week. We have opportunity this week to reconnect with our hearts, reconnect with our body, which really takes me back to that first card, the shelter card, talking about the home. So reconnecting with our heart, reconnecting with the things that are important to us, reconnecting with the things and the people that matter to us. And why are we investing so much worry and thought and words and attention to people that aren't important to us or things that aren't important to us? So I feel this sense of reprioritization in regards to importance for us this week, reconnecting with our heart. This is a great time to rekindle relationships. So whether it's our intimate relationships and maybe a date night or two for us to organise for this week. Maybe there are some family members or friends we haven't connected with for a while. So it might be a time to visit them, call them, connect with them in some way, and keep the effort going in regards to the maintenance of all of our relationships, because all of our relationships require effort to maintain. They don't maintain on their own. So we need to put effort in. So if there's relationships that are slipping away, then maybe this is a great week too to rekindle. So this is finding peace as well. It's finding peace in our heart, peace in our mind, and a reassurance that everything's going to be okay. So we might find ourselves reassuring ourselves something like that too this week, especially if we become worried about things that might be playing out around us. Everything's going to be okay, and how can we find peace in this particular situation? So the other things coming up, I think it's going to be a fairly intense week this week. So let's see how we go. Have a great week. Thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to connecting with you again next time. Take care of yourself, and goodbye for now.